No one knew when she arrived or where she came from. One early morning, before the market drum sounded, a woman walked into the village. She carried a small wooden box on her head and a calabash in her hand. Her face was calm, her wrapper simple, and her step quiet. By afternoon, she had already rented a small stall beside the groundnut sellers. She placed her calabash on the table and opened it carefully. Inside was fresh red palm oil, shining like gold under the sun. The way she poured it into bottles, slow and steady, made people stop and stare. When they asked her name, she smiled and said softly, "My name is Ngozi. I sell palm oil." That was all she said. She didn't say where she came from or who her people were. From that day, everyone called her the palm oil woman. Her palm oil was different. It was bright, thick and sweet smelling. While others sold one bottle for 70 naira, Ngozi sold hers for 50 naira. People rushed to her stall every morning. "Ah, Ngozi, your oil is fine, no? Like one from heaven." She would smile and say, "Thank you, Mama. Tomorrow I will give you one bottle free." That was how she won everyone's heart, through her kindness and soft words. She helped the old women carry their goods, gave oil on credit to the poor, and shared roasted yam with the children. Soon, everyone loved her. Even the market leader said, "This woman had a good heart. God sent her to bless this village." But there was something strange about her. No one ever saw her buy palm fruit or go to the oil mill. Yet, every morning her bottles were always full again. At night, people who lived near her hut said they heard her singing softly. Her voice was low and sweet like lullaby. Sometimes it sounded as if she was talking to someone, but she lived alone. When the women talked about it, others laughed. "She's just praying," they said. "Leave her alone. Not everyone who prays must shout." The days passed peacefully, too peacefully. The market became quiet. No quarrels, no gossip. The men stopped fighting over land. Children stopped selling mangoes. Everyone said, "Since Ngozi came, peace has entered our village." But one man did not agree. His name was Obinna, the village hunter. He often returned late at night from the forest. One night, as he passed by her hut, he saw a dim red light coming from inside. He moved closer. Quietly, through the small window, he saw something that made his body shake. Ngozi was sitting on the floor with a big clay pot in front of her. Her palm oil bottles stood around her, glowing faintly. She was whispering to them. Her voice was calm and soft. "Let every heart that eats from me find rest. Let their anger sleep." The oil inside the bottle began to move slowly like something alive. Obinna stepped back quickly, his heart beating fast. The next morning, he told the other men what he saw, but they laughed at him. "Hunter, maybe you stayed too long in the forest," they said. But Obinna knew what he saw. He began to watch her carefully. He noticed that the more people used Ngozi's oil, the quieter they became. They stopped complaining, stopped arguing. Even when things went wrong, the chief stopped holding meetings. The villagers smiled all the time, but their eyes looked far away, like they were dreaming. One day, Obinna followed her secretly before sunrise. He saw her walking towards the river with calabash. There, she poured water into it and whispered strange words. Then she dipped her finger in the river and dropped something red into the water. When she turned and saw him, she only smiled. "Hunter, the morning is good today." Obinna nodded, pretending not to be afraid. That night, he went to the oldest woman in the village, Mama Eke, to tell her what he saw. The old woman frowned and said, "Many years ago, there was a girl like her, also named Ngozi. Her husband died suddenly. The people blamed her. They burnt her hut and chased her away. She swore she would return one day to bring peace that never ends." Obinna's eyes widened. "You mean she's that same woman?" Mama Eke shook her head slowly. "Maybe her spirit had found a way back." The next day, the chief called a feast to thank Ngozi for bringing peace. She brought a big pot of palm oil stew and shared it with everyone. That night, Obinna couldn't sleep. He decided to follow her again, this time to the end. He saw her leave her hut and walk deep into the forest. She stopped under an iroko tree. There was a small clay pot on the ground surrounded by feather and ashes. She poured oil from her bottle into the pot and whispered, "Let every mouth that eats from me forget the pain they gave me. Let peace cover them like sleep." The oil began to glow red, lighting up her face. It looked beautiful but also frightening. Obinna wanted to run, but his leg froze. Then he stepped on a stick. Ngozi turned sharply, her eyes glowed faintly. "Who is there?" Obinna hid behind a tree, shaking. She whispered again, "Whoever spies on me will carry the sorrow of the restless." The forest became quiet, too quiet. She covered her pot and walked back towards the village. The next morning, Obinna ran to the market and shouted, "Stop using her palm oil, she is bewitching you." But everyone just smiled. Their faces were calm, their eyes empty. Even his own mother said, "Ngozi is a good woman. You should thank her, not accuse her." That was when Obinna knew the whole village was under her spell. Later that day, Ngozi came to him with her basket. "Brother Obinna," she said softly, "you look tired. Take a little palm oil. It will help you rest." He shook his head. "You've taken their minds, Ngozi. Why are you doing this?" She looked at him sadly. "Years ago, they took my peace. Now I've given them mine, one that never ends." A tear rolled down her cheek. She turned and walked away. That night, she went back to the river. Obinna followed quietly. She stood by the water, holding a small bottle of glowing oil. "Maybe I've done enough," she whispered. Then she poured it into the river. The oil spread across the water like fire, then slowly disappeared. By morning, the villagers woke up like people rising from a dream. They began to talk again, laugh again, and remember who they were. But no one remembered Ngozi. Her stall was gone, her hut was empty. It was as if she had never been there. Only Obinna remembered. He went to the river and whispered. Maybe she didn't want revenge. Maybe she just wanted peace. Moral of this story: pain never truly dies when we hide it. If we don't forgive, it grows and finds another way to speak. Ngozi wanted peace, but she forced it on others. True peace does not come from silence, it comes from forgiveness. Thank you very much for watching the story till the end. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Thank you, and see you in my next story. Bye bye.